Good evening to all the students. So I'll be sharing with some of the experiences actually. See, biotechnology as such is a very vast field. Now it is one of the emerging field of the scientific fraternity. But if you go on reading, so many things are there available in the literature, internet, so many things are there. Then I thought I'll just have a practical experiences. So whatever work we are doing in our in our lab, so that I'll share with you along with some of the examples. That such it is actually practical subject actually. Okay, so you, unless you experience, unless you work for it, then it doesn't have meaning. I am selling. Suppose I am telling that you isolate DNA, but if you are not knowing like what is the DNA and all these things, if you experience, if you have done the work, practical work, then you will understand. Suppose this is the DNA, and that different genes are there. The genes get expressed and this thing. So I thought I'll share with the actual examples what we are doing in the lab. Okay. So just a brief introduction to the students. Actually, biotechnology, like two words are there. Like bio is life, anything that is related to life, bacteria, plant, viruses, fungi, all things that is a bio. Okay, and technology is application of science. When science is applied into the human benefit or welfare purpose, it is called as a technology. So biological things applied for technology, that is called as biotechnology. This is the simplest form of a definition biotechnology can be. So so you take any biological example, make a product out of it, it is a biotechnology. And suppose a farmer is growing one plant, like and he has selected good quality seeds from it and develop a good quality material, so that is also a plant biotechnology. Or suppose two farmers are there, one is crossing with each other, then he is developing something, that is again a plant biotechnology. So see, when you go back into the history, we'll find that biotechnology started with our home. Actually, our mother, when is making curd, that is a biotechnology, best example of biotechnology. So what she is doing, she is growing some bacteria. So that is called a lactobacillus. These bacteria are taken, they are selectively taken, and you are adding milk to it, and the milk is converted into curd. So this is the best example of biotechnology. But now over the period of generation, over the period, now people are trying to understand what are these bacteria, how they are making the curd. Now, like what are the processes involved in curd formations? Okay, then these are the different steps involved in the curd making. Then is it possible to have more curd out of it? Then that is called as enhancement of the process. Suppose I have a plant, it is giving some secondary metabolites that are useful for medicinal purpose. But that plant is giving very less. Your compound is very less. Then what I'll do? People are trying to modulate the system. That what they do? They study what are the genes responsible for that compound. Suppose neem is the plant. Okay, neem contains azadirachtin. So I want more azadirachtin. So what I'll do? I will study what are the genes responsible for development of the azadirachtin. Then once I study that, then I'll come to know that these are the into the genome. These are the genes that are responsible for azadirachtin production. Now I will target the genes. What I'll do? Then targeting the genes means what? Either you can overexpress that genes. Overexpressing means some promoters are there. The genes are regulated by some promoters. So when you overexpress that gene, the promoter starts acting, and the your synthesis process starts enhancing. So you get a more azadirachtin. So this is a simple way of biotechnology. So this is divided into different categories are there. Genetics are there, biochemistry, molecular biology. Molecular biology means you different genes you have to manipulate in such a way that to get a better production. Then different medicines are there. We are now seeing that like medicines are getting more and more important. A lot of plants, they have the medicinal properties are there. People try to get the new medicines. Agriculture, like genetically modified plants. See, what people do is actually they take out the genes from the bacteria, they put it into the plant, or taking the bacteria genes from the plant and put it into the bacteria. Either way, then different biological treatment, industrial biotechnology. See, so many enzymes are there, enzymes, medicines, all these things can be harnessed by using biotechnology. So biotechnology has different branches are there, and each branch is now flourishing as an independent we can say field. A separate research topic is there, and in any of the topics you can explore your potential, you can develop your skills. So I will be covering to now. I'll coming to the agriculture, what we do in our BRC. BRC, you might be knowing, we are working with the radiations. So radiations are that like alpha, beta, gamma. These are the radiations actually. And we are making the use of these radiations for useful purposes. See, radiations, usually we have something in our mind that radiations are harmful or they are not good and all these things. But radiations, when they are used for good quality purpose, they are definitely good. Actually, that is called as, we call as a peaceful uses of nuclear energy. Peaceful uses means you utilize these radiations for benefit purpose. Suppose I have a suppose seeds are there. Okay, some seeds like groundnut seeds I am taking. This is the gamma chamber. This is right side we are seeing the gamma chamber. So I am putting the 100 seeds there, and I will give certain amount of dose, that is radiation. Radiations will come out and they will like X-ray, like in our airport we go, X-ray, our bags are getting exposed to X-ray film, X-ray machine. Similar way, these radiations, they seeds get exposed to this radiation and there is a genetic changes happen. So this is the strand of nucleus, so that get broken or either it get broken, that is called as mutation. So that changes happens. So that happens means when you grow that seeds into the field, you will see the phenotypic changes. Like there are chances that some plants will get dark, some plants will be getting taller or something like that. So that type of changes happens actually. See, these changes are the natural, so that changes happen. See, somebody has extra finger is there. This cat doesn't have a ears are not there. This potato has turned into different color, this shape actually. This hen has a extra legs. So these are the natural mutations actually. Okay, so nature these mutations take place, but by using radiation, we enhance the rate of radiation mutation. So sudden heritable changes in characters of organism is called as mutations. So mutation occurs spontaneously in nature. The rate of spontaneous mutation is very low. Means 1 in 10 to the power 7 is like, suppose I have a 10 lakh seeds are there. There are chances that one may get mutation, but by radiation you enhance the rate of mutation. So what we do is, so we are enhancing the rate of mutation. So mutation can be induced artificially by chemical or physical mutagenesis also. Like there are some chemical like colchicine is there, or some chemicals are there like UV radiations are there, that also creates the mutation. But by using radiation, the chances of getting permanent mutations are more. See, there are chances that some mutation they revert back. Suppose I have sown, I told like 100 seeds I have taken, and then I have given some amount of radiations and sown into the field. So first generation there are chances that it will give radiation, it will give mutation, but in second generation they revert back. So that is called as they revert back. But in UV radiations or chemical treatment, the chances of revert backs are more, but in radiation you get a good permanent mutations. So now we can see this see soybean plant is there. Okay, so these are different, it has changed into different sizes. Okay, then these are different pulses are there, they are also color has changed. Then this is a flower actually, how these different flower variations are there. People demand different types of flowers actually, colored variation is required. So there is a variability is required. In nature also it is there, but people try to develop by using this type of technique. Okay, now by using radiations, we have developed different 46 crop varieties of different plants. Okay, like groundnut, mung bean, urad bean, pigeon peas, soya bean, jute, rice, and all these things. And these varieties are not only I told you, only color has not changed, but other characters are also good actually. It means some groundnuts are there that are, they contain high oil content is more. Some are disease resistance, some are insect resistance. So these are the favorable characters. So we have to select that character, and then we have to utilize these characters for beneficial purpose, or getting good quality seeds material. And these, all these varieties are being used by farmers all over country. See, now you can see the some from Gujarat, Rajasthan, Maharashtra, West Bengal, and all these things. All the places people are using these seeds actually. So groundnut breeding plot is there. So this is how they grow the different groundnut seeds, and they are very much popular among the farming community, the India. So now I told you about the seeds. Now same way we can develop the different bacteria or different fungi can be developed into good quality strains actually. So this is a one of the example, trichoderma. You people might have heard actually trichoderma. That is a fungus actually. That fungus, like mushroom is also fungus. So similar way, this is a fungus. But that fungus, there are so many funguses are there in nature. Some of them are harmful. They causes disease into the plant. But this trichoderma is a good quality fungus. Good fungus means that doesn't allow the other fungus to grow. Okay, so the bad fungus, it doesn't allow the bad fungus to grow. Okay, so these trichoderma, they produce some of the secondary metabolites like viridin, viridol. So I told you, now I am interested in better viridin and viridol production. So what I have done is, I have taken the, see there are two pictures are seen. One is wild type, this is a green in color, and this is a mutant we have developed. Mutant means we have given the radiation to the this wild type, and then we have grown this fungus into different medium, and we found that we got a different colored mutation. But not only color has changed, it has found that it is giving more secondary metabolites. Secondary metabolites means that are useful for your fungus to control other fungi. Okay, so we have developed a new strain of this fungus that is called as mutant strain. So Trichoderma virens was exposed to gamma radiation. This is the dose was given, and mutant strain, morphologically different from the wild type, was isolated. And when you grow onto the plates, it has found that that is controlling pythium. There is a disease. So pythium causes disease to the plant. So this trichoderma was controlling the pythium disease, and this is also producing more secondary metabolites. Okay, so this is how we have succeeded in developing this. So we have developed a novel seed dressing formulation based on improved mutant strain of trichoderma and its field evaluation. Then we studied into the field conditions, because see, when you develop some product, actually it has to go to the field, then only farmer will recognize it. So then we applied into the field. So how it is applied? So you take that formulation and then apply into the seeds, and then you sow the seeds, so that the seed will not be infected by fungi, that disease causing fungi. So this is the useful fungi. So this is how we have developed this formulation. This paper was published in Frontier in Microbiology recently only. Okay, so now I was telling about the how we are applying into the field. So this is a control plot. You can see here the disease has observed. So disease has developed into disease. See, all the empty spots are there because all the plants are died due to disease. But in another plot, just below that, we have found that lush green. This is chickpea, chana, chickpea plot actually, and we have just grown that trichoderma. Just 4 grams of trichoderma powder we have applied into the seeds. We have coated the seeds, that is called as seed treatment, and this is applied to the seeds, and then seeds are sown. So see, like there was a 40 to 50% increase in the yield. See, by simple change of the technology, simple application of radiations or biotechnological application, farmers are getting more yield. Okay, so that like very mere application of this product has resulted into very good quality product and output to the farmers, and farmers are very much happy. So this was a plot in Raipur, Chhattisgarh actually. Okay. Now similar way, suppose this I told you trichoderma. I am giving some example because these are useful examples. Okay. So I was telling you, see, this is the trichoderma, green color actually, and this is the fungus, that is a plant pathogenic fungus. And when trichoderma, when you grow into the same plate, we'll find that trichoderma doesn't allow this fungus to grow. It is inhibiting that fungus to grow. Okay, so what we have done is, I'll just give you how biotechnology can changes the useful things actually. So trichoderma, I was growing into the lab. Okay, so people you might be knowing, some of the people you might be knowing that fungus require PDA, potato dextrose agar, to grow. Bacteria require Na, nutrient agar. Okay. Now, suppose I am growing this fungus on PDA medium, potato dextrose agar. So when I grow this trichoderma on potato dextrose agar, you will, when you study the gene profile, you will find that only constitutive genes are getting induced. Okay, because it doesn't require anything to this one. It will just grow onto the normal medium. So because suppose we are sitting into the lab or into the AC air condition, so our body will function accordingly normally. But if you are exposed to some conditions that are not favorable, so your body will synthesize some of the extra genes. So similar way, trichoderma when grow on PDA medium, it will synthesize some genes. When same trichoderma we grow on complex medium, it has to synthesize some extra genes. And then now I am isolating the genes. Okay, RNA is isolated. So trichoderma grow on PDA, trichoderma grow on complex medium. So both the things we have isolated RNA, and we have found that in complex medium, the extra genes are getting synthesized, and that extra genes are xylinase and glucanases. And when these xylinase and glucanases, we study what is its function. We found that these genes are responsible for increasing resistance in plant against diseases. So by simply growing trichoderma onto the complex medium, we have resulted into increasing disease resistance in the plant. So but just by switching over to the medium, we'll find that you get an extra plant defense. So plant will defense the disease causing fungi better. So we got a patent for this actually. So mass multiplication medium. We have developed medium from using tamarind seeds. Tamarind you might be knowing. Tamarinds are like they are only pulp. Tamarind pulp is used for better our different application. But seeds are just throwaway price. But when you study, we have studied the content. We found that tamarind seed contains xylem. And when you grow this trichoderma on xylem medium, it produces xylinase, and that xylinase are responsible for increasing resistance into the plant against diseases. So this is how we do into the lab. So we were doing something else actually. We are growing trichoderma and all these things, and we come across this phenomena, and we found that this is growing very well also, and that is controlling more disease more efficiently. See, this is how the biotechnological applications are. Biotechnology is applied into the actual field condition. That is what I want to share with you, because actual examples where we have given a technology. Biotechnology means some product has come out. So we have developed this tamarind seeds as a product for growing trichoderma, and this has resulted into better disease control into the field conditions. Okay, so we have made a technology, and this technology are transferred to different industries. Trishul, Ajay Biotech, Borlong Biotechnology, Pune Lab. This is company from Bangalore actually. So they are very much interested in this product actually, and the farmers are demanding for this product actually. So this is how we have developed a product out of this actually. So now come up with the, we have seen the fungus. Now we'll come to the bacteria. We have given these bacteria, they are very much useful for uh, your all entire plant life is depend on these bacteria actually. See, only 3% of the total population are harmful to humans, but rest are the useful actually. Microorganisms that we cannot see them, but they are there actually. Okay, so without knowing we are getting their help from the historic days, storing up milk, dahi, pickle, jam, dosas, idli making. So microbes are there always at work actually. Okay, so I'll be just explaining uh, plant associated microbes. Okay, so there are bacteria always associated with the plant. If you see, like when you grow any plant, microbes are associated with that plant, and microbes associated with the root zone, that is called as rhizome. Okay, that is called as rhizobacteria. And there are some bacteria under the top of the plant also, that is called as holosphere, means rhizosphere and holosphere. So there are bacteria in the rhizosphere also, there are bacteria onto the top of the plant also, and there is always communication going between these bacteria from the rhizosphere and the phyllosphere. It is called as phyllosphere. So microbe, nowadays people are telling like, so instead of growing only plant, you have to grow the bacteria also. See, when you take the plant, these bacteria, 1 gram of soil, if you take from the this root zone, you will find that contains 10 to the power 9 bacteria, 10 to the power 7 fungus, 10 to the power 6 protozoas, 10 to the power 4 protozoas. So all these things are there into the single 1 gram of soil. You can imagine 1 hectare of soil will contain how much of bacteria are there. And these bacteria, they help the plant in taking up the nutrients. See, if bacteria are not there, plant will not take up the nutrients. So nutrients will be not taken up by the plants. So these bacteria are very much essential for survival of the plant, for the plants to take up the nutrients. So that's why they have lot of importance. Okay, so you can see, like, see, air microbiome, phyllosphere. On the top of the plant, the bacteria present, they are called as, they are phyllosphere, and bacteria present in the root zone, they are called as rhizospheric microbes. So, and there is always communication going between this plant. See, this, what these bacteria they do actually, See, plant will not take up the nutrient as it is, because that plants take up the nutrient like nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, magnesium, zinc, and all these things. So these nutrient has to be in, mostly these nutrients are in fixed form. They get fixed to the soil, and these bacteria, they make them solubilize. What these bacteria they do is they release some of the organic acids, and these organic acids make the nutrients soluble, and then plant take up these nutrients. So now what scientists are doing, they are isolating these bacteria. Okay, they are taking this bacteria, they grow into the lab, and then apply into the soil, so that your nutrient uptake enhances. Nutrient uptake enhances, then these nutrient and these bacteria also has ability to control other disease causing organisms, so that doesn't allow others to grow into the root zones. Okay, so now when you want to grow any plant, so you have to always think of the bacteria. That is called as holobiont. Mean like there is a symbiotic relation between plants and bacteria. That is called as holobiont, like a rhizosphere and phyllosphere. That is called as holosphere. So plant has to be holistic approach. Plant, it has to be seen, and now people are isolating each plant has different microbial diversity, and people are doing that, isolating these bacteria, and then it is being studied into the lab, then they grow into the this one, and then taken into the field again. Okay, so this is called as the rhizosphere. Rhizosphere is term coined by Mr. This was German physiologist. Rhiza is root, and rhizosphere means these are the, see, entire roots, these bacteria are there. Okay, so this is the plant root and these bacteria. Endorhizosphere includes portion of the cortex and endodermis in which microbes and cations can occupy free space between the cells. The rhizoplane is the medial zone directly adjacent to the root, including the root epidermis and mucilages. The outermost zone in the ectorhizosphere, which extend from the rhizoplane out to the bulk of the soil. And this is how these are the root hairs, and through which there is a communication going between the plants and microbes. Nutrient uptake, I told you, like nutrient as such, they cannot be taken by the plant as it is. See, nitrate is there, then potash is there, sulfur is there, zinc is there. All these nutrients are there into the soil, but plant will not take up as it is, because it has to be converted into soluble form, and then only plant will take up these nutrients. See, this is how the iron mechanism. See, you might be knowing there is a plant. Now it has been proved that when some plant, see, we say that beans contains zinc is more, or some, there is a winged bean plant that contains more of iron. But we have found that when the plant contains more iron, it is observed that the iron mobilizing bacteria are there into the root zone of that plant. Means the plant contains suppose more nutrient, means some role is there by the bacteria to play. So this is called as siderophores. Siderophore is a iron chelating mechanism by which plant take up the iron from the soil. And it has been found that these bacteria are present into the soil root zone, and they divert the iron into the plant, and then plant becomes more rich source of iron. Nowadays you might be knowing, like there are iron deficiencies are increasing. So what people are doing, like iron fortification, means they are adding extra iron, but that is not available to the human being. Suppose extra iron, suppose it comes through the plant, then it is available. Okay, but as it is not available to the plant. So more availabilities of iron to the people are not there. So it has to come from the seeds. Okay, and then when it will come to into seed, these iron producing bacteria has to be there into the soil. If it is they are not there, then plant will not become take up the iron. So we have found that these winged bean plant contains lot of bacteria. They are iron mobilizing bacteria. So we have isolated this bacteria and then put into the soil, and we found that into the banana plant. See, banana people are doing actually iron content, more of a iron content, iron fortified banana. So you take the bacteria, siderophore producing bacteria, grow into the lab and put it in the root zone of the banana. So there is no, see, people are, there is no requirement of extra, nothing is required, only small amount of like fertilizer, bacteria has to add in into the form of the fertilizers. Okay, so this is how the people are doing now. That is called as a fortification, iron fortification or nutrient fortification. So this type of work people are doing. See, natural way. This is not a like genetic engineering is what genetic engineering means. People are doing the iron promoting some enzymes they are taking from the bacteria or some animals and then putting into the plant, but there are chances that that may not give good results actually, because they may not be yielding that much of nutrient into the plant. But if you put this bacteria, you mobilize the rhizosphere in a such a way that the plant will start making the start making the that iron actually. So this is called as a rhizosphere engineering. So what people are doing now, rhizosphere engineering means you engineer the rhizosphere in such a way that you want, suppose you want more iron, so you engineer the rhizosphere in such a way that you add them into the soil so that plant will start making, plant will produce more of a iron. Suppose you want more zinc. Zinc is required for your increasing resistance in our body. So you put the zinc solubilizing bacteria or zinc mobilizing bacteria into the root zone of the plant. So plant will take up more zinc and that zinc will be available to the for our purpose. So this is called as nutrient fortification, and this is governed by different bacteria. So now you will come to know that these bacteria are so much of importance. So never underestimate powers of microbes. Okay, that is what the theme. Okay, now we have seen the plant studies, then bacteria we have seen, fungus we have seen. Now we are also working on some bacteria that are used for the waste management. So this is last 5 minutes I will be taking. So these are the different bacteria that are used for waste management. Waste management, you might be knowing, this has become very important topic of today's world. Like government is also paying a lot of attention for this topic. And waste, we are just throwing the waste into the nature. So that is creating problems to the our mother earth. So instead of that, if you process the waste in a such a way that you will get a good quality fuel and so good quality manure. So we have developed a technology. I'll just explain to you. This is called as Nisarga Runa technology. Nisarga is nature. Runa is loan. So we take so many things from nature, into food, shelter, clothing, everything we take from the nature. But we do not give anything back to nature. So we are just throwing, suppose, waste onto the roads or something like that, landfills. So that creates the extra pollution problem. So instead of that, if you process the waste through our plant, then we get a good quality fuel and manure. That manure can go back to the soil. So you are paying back the nature's loan. So this is the concept of Nisarga. Nisarga biogas plant has been developed. So this is like a gobar gas plant, but gobar gas plants were like only single digesters. Single digester, you were adding gobar into that and you get a gas. Okay, only single digester. But if we have modified this gobar gas plant for processing all types of waste, hotel waste, municipal waste, agriculture waste, vegetable market waste, abattoir waste. So what we have done is we have put a additional thermophilic aerobic digester. See how the biotechnology means helps us to better understand the processes actually. See, any waste is there, so it is made up of either carbohydrate, proteins, fats. So I want to convert into methane. Okay, so so carbohydrate, proteins, fats are not directly converted to methane because there are some of the intermediate steps are there, and that is called as acid production. So your waste is crushed through a mixer and passed through a aerobic thermophilic digester. So there it is converted into different organic acids, and these organic acids are enter into the main digester where they are converted into methane. So this aerobic digester we have put extra. We have put a extra aerobic digester, and we have found that by putting this, we are adding hot water through solar panels, and these thermophilic bacteria develop. These thermophilic bacteria may they survive at higher temperature. As they survive at higher temperature, their degradation is faster. The rate of degradation is very fast. Okay, so your waste conversion to methane is more. So we are passing the waste through mixer, then pre-digester. We are adding some hot water, and from here it enters to the main digester where it is converted to methane, and then methane goes to the methane storage room. Okay, and whatever is manure is coming out, we are recycling the water, and the manure is applied into the field conditions. So what are the advantages? Faster degradation of waste, combination of aerobic and anaerobic. See, gobar gas plant I told you as a single digester, only anaerobic digestion. But in our this one, we found that aerobic digestion is enhancing the process of your waste conversion. Increase in quality and quantity of waste, weed free manure, whatever manure we are getting, it's a weed free, and recycling, water is recycled into the useful product actually, and manure is obtained, that is manure is used for useful purposes. Okay, that goes into the field actually. This is called as Nisarguruna. This technology again we have transferred to many industries, many this is the one of the success story in Coimbatore actually. See, this is a village near Coimbatore city where they bring the waste through this cart, and it is processed and biogas is generated, and it is, and this is a field a community kitchen actually, community kitchen model. People come into the morning and evening, they cook their food and then go back. Actually, this is low income group peoples are there, so they come there, they cook their food and then go back. So this is how the technology becomes useful for this Wipro Kochi. It is established different corporate places, then TCS Thane. So more than 150 technology transfer. We have transferred this technology to different industries. More than 200 installation all over country from Leh to Kanyakumari and Northeast. Wide variety of waste is processed through this one. So this is how the biotechnology can be implemented for development of good quality products, good quality technology that have applications into the field, and this has societal implications also. So how I have to address, try to address the uh, actual real examples actually, instead of taking just information from the internet or something like that. I thought I'll share with the actual real examples, and these how the technology, how the is we are reading it actually. We are reading the things, but it has to applied. It has to be applied into the societal application. That is what the technology. biotechnology, how microbes are used for making the fortified, nutrient fortified food, how the bacteria are converted into good quality, how they are increasing the uptake of the nutrient, how the fungus just switching over the medium has become very good quality product actually, and how the biotechnological applications, this bacteria and fungi, these bacteria, methane bacteria, they are developed in a better way to produce more of a methane yield and all this thing. So this is how I have tried to address these issues. I hope you will understand. 45 minutes exactly. It is over now. Over to organizer for some questions actually.
Thank you so much, sir. It was indeed a very informative session.
Okay.
As you said, we'll move
Okay.
on to the Q&A. Sarah will be
Correct.
handling the Q&A. Over to you, Sarah.
Okay.
Thank you so much, sir. So the participants have put forward a few questions in the chat. Shall we move on to those questions, sir? First question, do Trichoderma virens cause pica disease in groundnut?
No. This is not. No. This is useful. Virens is a useful strain, so it doesn't cause a disease. It is a useful strain actually. No disease. It doesn't cause a disease.
Okay, so thank you. So next question, are there any adverse effects on using radiation to induce mutations?
No, actually, the doses are determined in such a way that there is no harmful effect actually. See, this is what we have separate food technology department is there. So that they see doses are different for different purposes. Suppose I want a radiation to be given for mutation purpose, different dose rate is there. I want radiation for preservation purpose, different rates are there. Like different doses, that is what the scientists they do into the lab. The rates are decided in such a way that there is no any harmful effect or no any adverse nutritional effects are affected. So that is what the last 40-50 years, and this is a widely accepted technology all over Europe, America. It is accepted. WHO, FAO, this is an approved. IAEA has approved this technology. So there is no harmful effects of the as it is actually. And radiation doesn't remain there actually. See, radiation just passes through it. Like X-ray, we do X-ray just passes through it. Now we also do our chest X-ray and all these things. So that X-ray doesn't remain there. So similar way, radiation doesn't remain into the food.
So next question. Won't these plants produced by induced mutations cause any impact on soil microbiota?
No, see, radiations are, we are giving only once. Okay. Radiation dose are given only once. Then I told you radiation doesn't remain there. Okay. Then you are sowing it to the field. Okay. So there afterwards, there is no radiations on Iloan. Only once actually. And that what happens, radiation just passes through, that breaks the strand, and that is resulted that the characters are changed, that we are studying actually. So that doesn't remain there.
Okay, sir. India has always had tight regulations regarding GMO. How do you think this will change in the next 10 years?
Okay. GMO is actually, that is the genetically modified plants. Okay. So the permissions were given only for cotton because that was not consumable. Okay. So now, based on the experiences of cotton, we are extending the studies towards like brinjal. Now government has given permission to some of the universities to give the permission for growing GM brinjals. Okay. So, but there is a hindrance. There is a opposition from the some NGOs are there or some people are there. They are opposing it actually. But as a technology, as a scientist, I will say that, see, most of the Europe, America, soybean and all these things, they are all GMOs actually. So as long as that is not harmful, you have to study. You have to see what are the effects, what are the implications. It has to be properly, thoroughly studied. Then only, if there are no harmful effects, then it can be taken into the for field application or trial purpose actually. But now there is opposition is there, still opposition is there, and being a consumable things, people are opposing it actually. But I think cotton and all these things that can be useful, can be used without any problem actually. And it has been proved that there is no harmful effects are there actually.
So next question. What are the main hurdles and precautions required for performing research using radiation?
What are the
main hurdles and precautions required for performing research using radiation?
No, this radiation research is like quite old, like almost 50 years people are doing, and lot of we have see, giving that radiation source is also is governed by the government agency, Atomic Energy Regulatory Board, ARB is there. So all the regulatory precautions are taken. As it is, you cannot, anybody cannot go and handle it. You have to have a proper training is required. So all the norms are given, all the prescribed things are given, prescribed actually. So there is no harmful effect, means you have to take care actually. Don't have to unnecessarily go and expose yourself and all this. So all the precautions, all the things are prescribed things are there. The laboratories are given the designations to do the particular work only. Then only they can do it. Otherwise, nobody as such can be useful, handle it actually.
So what are the regulatory approval needs from the Indian government for radiated or mutated plant and microbial commercial production?
Commercial production, see, there are two things. One is like you have to sell the irradiated food. Okay, so that is FSSAI is giving the permissions. Okay, that is giving the permissions. Okay, radiation processed food. And suppose you have a you want to mutation, do some microorganisms, you have to do mutation or something like that. So that is grown in the lab only, na? So laboratory conditions only. So you are not exposing to the environment or something like that. So there is a GEAC, Genetically Engineering Modified Committee is there that gives the approval actually. GEAC, Genetic Engineering Application Committee. So that is under Ministry of Environment and Forest. Okay, that gives the permission for conducting different trials and all these things, permissions, all these things.
Thank you, sir. So we can say. Okay, next question. How are these mutated trichoderma screened and selected using complex media?
No, see, we have given dose, I told you, like 1200 grade dose we have given. Okay, we put the plate into that gamma chamber, and then we have grown that into the different medium actually. Okay, and then we selected the colonies actually, and some colonies, some 10-15 colonies we selected, and we found that one is brown in color, and then we screened it for its viridin and viridon production. We found that it is increased by 3 times actually. And then we started using it for the disease control. We found that it is giving more disease control because that viridin production has increased. So this is how we selected it actually.
So next question. Siderophores can bind to iron. Is there any other compound by microbes which can bind to other metals?
Yeah, there are there, na? See, zinc is also there. Zinc, aluminium, and all these things are there. So all See, mostly metal, each compound has affinity towards different metals. Different bacteria also has affinity towards this one. But mostly zinc and iron, they have common transcription factors are common actually. So suppose zinc is mobilized, then there are chances that iron is also getting mobilized. Aluminium, heavy metals also. Lot of heavy metals also. Na? The plant they try to these bacteria they try to immobilize that, immobilize or mobilize different ways depending on what type of pH is there. Different pH condition it changes actually.
Okay, sir. Can endophytic bacteria be utilized as a mutant variant?
Endophytic bacteria can be used as a mutant variant. I could not get that point. Endophytic bacteria. See, the tissue culture also we have a lot of endophytes are there. Different endophytes are there everywhere actually. So mutant variable means what? I could not get that point.
Okay, sir.
I could not get exactly what.
Oh,
But endophytic bacteria, even funguses are there. They grow into the plant.
okay, sir. Residue manure produced in anaerobic digester, does it contain thermophilic bacteria, and can it be directly applied to the field, and does it cause any effect in plant growth?
No, it doesn't have, because see, from the pre-digester it enters the main digester where the normal temperature is there, 37 degrees Celsius. And when it enters outside, see, from anaerobic condition, the aerobic bacteria doesn't survive. So that bacteria doesn't remain there actually, because they pass through anaerobic conditions. Na? So aerobic, these thermophilic bacteria, they are aerobic actually. So that doesn't remain there actually. So they get died over the period of this one, as it passes through that phase.
Which plate technique is used for trichoderma culture?
Which plate? Huh?
The question says which technique can be used for trichoderma culture.
Yeah, that is PDA only. Na? PDA we grow, PDA. And then we modified the medium with this tamarind seeds. Tamarind seed, we just crush it actually. Okay. Crush it, then autoclave it and grow the trichoderma. It grows very well.
So what are the harmful effects of radiation on soil conditions?
See, radiations, we are not exposing soil to the radiation, na, sir. See, we are just doing some experiment into the lab. So we are radiations are not exposed into the field, na. So there is no as such this one. And even your source is also not exposed to the field. See, only the radiation, the seeds are getting exposed. Then we are applying that seeds to the field.
Okay, sir. What is your opinion about genetically modified seeds, such as terminating seeds?
Yeah, terminating. Actually, that gene is there that doesn't allow it to grow further. Na? That is so. It is not studied yet. Actually, means its effect into the field and all these things. So, see, something inhibiting or terminating means it is against the natural way. Actually, okay. So that is a see companies, seed companies. They are playing with that actually. They want to sell their seeds actually. But our natural, suppose variation is there, so natural seeds are there. Our own farmers, suppose seeds are growing. That is well and good actually, I feel. So any technology should not be detrimental, I feel. It should not be detrimental. Technology should be useful.
Okay, sir. Are there any, does radiation-induced mutations happen to be heritable?
Radiation induced mutation. No. Unless the radiations are there, it will not be this one. No, heritable means that, see that yeah, it heritables to next generations. Na? It changes to next generation. Na? Suppose some damage has happened. So suppose ATGC strand has broken. Okay. So that will result you some effect. Na? So it may not give some, it will give you some extra things, tall plant, dwarf plant or something like that. So that is inherited. That character is inherited. Okay. So it goes to the next generation, third generation. So after 5-6 generations, when it is a permanent change is there, then it remains like that. It doesn't change.
Okay, sir. So one of the participants has asked out of curiosity, by any chance, is there any effect of coronavirus in crop plants?
No, not yet, because viruses are host specific. They are host specific, means obligate parasites. Obligate means suppose they are growing onto the, suppose this one that will not affect others. Obligate parasites, they are obligate parasites. So unless there is some mutation is there, I think I don't think it will affect to the plants. They are obligate parasites, means they require live host, and they are specific also. Means one, suppose it is affecting one this one, it will not affect others. The different category, different organisms.
The next question: what are the main ways that radionuclides can enter into the food chain?
Radionuclide, as it is, will not enter into the food chain unless some contamination is there. Okay, as from it will not come. See nature also some uranium is there. Na? Uranium is there into the river, this well and all these things. See lot of Karnataka and all these things, Tumlapalli, the mines are there. So there it is there into the nature. It is there into the soil. So from that it enters to the food chain. Food chain means it enters into the water. From water it enters to the this one. Actually, there are examples are there. Punjab also lot of reports are there. Actually, it enters into the food chain.
Okay, sir. Our last question: what types of mutations were predominantly seen during radiation, and has that resulted in resistance?
During radiation means when? See, there are like radiations accidents happen, Fukushima, then Hiroshima, Nagasaki, then Chernobyl. So there it is found that some plants, they get this one typical type of plant phenotypes has happened and all this thing. Or even that some effects were there, that were some detrimental also were there actually. But we cannot selectively say that this will happen like that actually.